Tuberville.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thanks for both of you willing to serve. Ms. Sutton, the President released the top line of his FY26 budget last week, and we look forward to learning all the details of the proposal in weeks ahead. We do know that this year's budget request for cyber operations was $14.5 billion, up $1 billion for the previous year. Given the rapid involvement of the landscape in cyber, do you believe this funding level is sufficient to meet our security needs?
Senator, I share your concern with making sure we are balancing the resources available with the growing threat, as you indicated. One of the primary responsibilities, if confirmed in this role, is to review the budget and to certify that to ensure it's necessary. One of the things that is particularly unique about the cyber domain is that many of the capabilities are a software capability, and so investments in this domain can have a very immediate response into providing options for the President and Secretary, and look forward to having the opportunity to highlight where we can better integrate this and perhaps shore up additional resources as needed.
What role will cyber play in the future of possibly the Golden Dome?
Senator, in my current role, I have not been involved in the specifics of that discussion, but I think that what we see with all of our weapon systems is the importance of building in cybersecurity from the beginning to make sure that as we put these capabilities out, that we're able to defend them and that they're secure against what will be a very an attack surface that our adversaries will definitely look to exploit.
Thank you. Mr. Tate, I reviewed your record, public service, combat veteran, school superintendent, secretary of transportation, leading tens of thousands of military members and civil servants conducting complex missions. Anything you hadn't done? My goodness.
Senator,
now you want to do this.
I appreciate that comment.
Well, thank you for your service. But instead of exploring the experience, my colleagues seem to be focused on some things that you've said in the past, and I find this interesting given the last 4 years where a lot of the Democratic parties continually call conservatives Nazis, fascists, threats to democracy. You know, it goes both ways here. You know, the previous administration fully weaponized our justice system department to attack, punish their political opposition, profile grandmothers are thrown into prison for peaceful protest. It just goes on and on. Out of curiosity, Mr. Tate, have you labeled people you disagree with Nazis?
Senator, I have not.
Thank you. Have you ever weaponized your previous offices to punish your political opponent?
Senator, I have not.
I didn't think so. Yesterday, Secretary Hastings announced a two-phase approach to reducing our top-level military. Phase one is a 20% reduction of active four-star generals and flag officers, as well as a 20% from the National Guard Bureau of Police. Phase two will be an additional 10%. The Undersecretary for Personnel and Readiness will be leading this initiative. I'm interested in your thoughts on this announcement.
Senator, anytime that we're talking about tooth-to-tail ratio, I think it's a good conversation. You know, the Secretary's comment about the number of generals when we were in World War II versus the number we have today, I think is a stark reminder that perhaps we become a little bit of a bureaucracy. And so he talked about a methodical and measured way of going about finding the force structure realignment that would allow for the reductions he's talking about.
Thank you. Can we expect a complementary effort to reduce the real bloat at OSD and joint staff, which have increased by 2 to 5 times respectively over the last 25 years, while our total force numbers have decreased?
Senator, if confirmed, I would work with you and the rest of this committee on optimizing the workforce and the military.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.